Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today's foraging showcase video is kind of nice because I don't even have to leave our lakefront homestead because we are fortunate enough to have this plant growing on our property. Today's foraging showcase video is about goldenrod. Now the scientific name for goldenrod is called solidago, and this plant actually has about 140 different varieties all through North America. On a side note, this plant, this flower specifically, is actually the Nebraska state flower. Okay, so on to the history side of things. This plant definitely has made its mark in history. After the famous Boston Tea Party in 1773, goldenrod was actually used as a tea alternative. Native Americans actually also used this plant for medicinal properties and also used it to sweeten other herbal remedies that they created. This plant actually became so popular after the Revolutionary War that China really wanted to get their hands on this plant as well, so it ended up being very profitable for North America to ship over to China. So the part of the plant that's edible is the flower and the leaves. You can eat the flower, use it as a garnish in a salad. You can do something similar with the leaves, or you can kind of cook up the leaves like spinach. So as far as the medicinal uses go for this plant, it helps reduce pain and swelling, specifically inflammation. It's also used for eczema and other skin conditions. It has a use as a diuretic as well. It's used to stop muscle spasms, used for gout and joint pain as well. It can be used to treat hay fever, seasonal allergies, asthma, enlarged prostate, and urinary tract diseases also. It's helpful in treating kidney stones. It's an excellent wound care on the surface of the skin, and it can be used as a mouth rinse for inflamed areas of the mouth and throat. There are a number of different ways you can use the flower for medicinal uses. You can eat the flower itself. You can use it in tinctures, you can dry it and use it in teas. There are a number of different ways you can make use of its amazing medicinal effects. Okay, so goldenrod shouldn't be too difficult to identify because the flowers and the leaves are very unique. The flowers themselves actually grow in clusters and they are always going to be bright yellow. Now the leaves, on the other hand, are going to have slight jagged edges, and they're going to have a very smooth texture to them. Leaves are also alternating, and the stem will grow all the way to the top, and at the very top is where it will branch out with flowering heads. Now the flowers will start to bloom near the end of July, early August, and it'll remain in this state all the way into October. Of course, this depends on your grow zone because goldenrod really does grow almost everywhere in North America. Goldenrod will virtually grow anywhere where it has a lot of sunlight. They love pastures and hay fields, and they are a very important plant in terms of pollination because they are pretty much the last bit of food that the insects have before the end of fall. One of the interesting things about goldenrod is that it has this misconceived perception that it is the cause of people's allergies. And in all reality, that's not the case. What's causing people's seasonal allergies most of the time is ragweed, and people get those two plants confused even though they really don't look that much alike. The difference between those two plants are pretty apparent as far as the coloring and the flowers go. But ragweed has a ton of pollen, and goldenrod does not. It does have some pollen, but not enough to make a difference. And the way goldenrod will propagate itself and pollinate is by the use of insects, while ragweed will actually use the wind to spread all its pollen. And that's what's giving people the sniffles, the itchy eyes, the congestion issues. The nice thing about this plant is that it actually relieves those symptoms. Another thing I should mention, if you're planning on using the flowers for medicinal purposes, if you're using it to treat your seasonal allergies, you need to pick it from your region, from your general area, because whatever's causing your ailment also comes from that area. If you pick goldenrod from, say, south of you as opposed to your region or north of you, it may not have as strong of an effect. So it's just best wherever you're at and whatever's causing your seasonal allergy, get goldenrod from that region, and it should help you quite a bit. Now these two plants are considered official lookalikes that are poisonous. However, I really don't think they look anything like goldenrod. They don't grow in clustered little flowers like goldenrod, and they don't have the right kind of leaves either. But since they are considered lookalikes, I figured I would at least list these for you guys so you know what not to harvest. As with all my videos, make sure you educate yourselves, do enough research before you harvest anything out in the wild. Well everyone, that's all I have for today. Hopefully you learned something new about goldenrod, and hopefully those of you that are suffering from seasonal allergies will have an opportunity to make use of this plant. Definitely do your research, definitely look into all you need to know about this plant, and you'll be amazed at what it can do for you. I already know of 6 people this season alone, since we've studied up on this plant, that have been able to use its medicinal effects, and it has helped them tremendously. So definitely do your research, look into this plant, and see what goldenrod can do for you. Thanks for watching. Take care. I'll see you guys in the next video. Say bye, guys.